Wouldn't it be great if your horse followed you at liberty? Round+penning can help you set the foundation for just that. Round+penning is both tricky to learn and tricky to teach, and it's not easy for the pony either. Round+penning is about getting your pony's attention. You want the pony to learn to look at you, focus on you, and stay with you, even if he's going fast or slow. Because a round+pen is round, there are no corners for the pony to get stuck in, so he can give you continuous motion. With continuous motion, the release of pressure really makes sense to the pony as a signal to stop doing what he's doing and come to you. For this reason, the round+pen is a very effective teaching tool, but very dangerous and frequently abused. The sand is very deep in a round+pen, so it's not very safe for your horse to canter in there, even though people do it all the time. It's also easy for a horse to slip and have a foot go through the panels. This often results in a broken limb, and most horses have to be put down if they break a bone. In this video, you'll get to see 12-year-old Emma learn how to get a pony to hook onto her at liberty. Here's an example of what we're looking for. When Emma looks at Thistle, Thistle should turn her eyes toward Emma and come off the rail towards her. When Emma walks away, Thistle should follow her and try to stay with her. The round+pen makes learning liberty play a little bit easier because it's a small space. If your pony leaves, you don't have to walk as far to get her attention back on you. To get your pony's attention on you, walk around behind her, so she'll have to turn to look over her shoulder. As her neck gets tired of looking behind her, she'll swing her butt away so she can turn and face. Sometimes the pony will just walk away instead of turning to walk with you. If this is the case, ask her to move again, because many ponies are kind of lazy, and if given the choice between having to keep walking and coming to you, most ponies will soon learn to come to you, especially if you give them a click and a treat for catching up. One of the tricky things about a round+pen is if your pony is hugging the rail, it's hard to get around behind them. Sometimes it works to step in front of them and kind of cut them off. Then once they're stopped, walk around towards their tail. Your other option is to put a little pressure on behind them, and once they're encouraged to move forward, they'll generally drift off to the inside because the sand isn't as deep there. Here Emma uses her stick to ask Thistle to walk forward. As Thistle starts walking, Emma gets a little bit too far in front of her shoulder, and it causes Thistle to stop. Emma stays up by her shoulder and tries to draw off of the rail, hoping that Thistle will turn and follow her. Once Emma is not blocking her shoulder, Thistle turns towards the inside of the arena, where the sand is easier to walk through. Thistle then goes to the gate to check to see if she can get out and go wander away to eat grass. When she sees that the gate is closed, she stops to sniff a coat and a saddle, just because anything is more interesting than coming to hang out with Emma. A lot of people misread these cues as indifference or stubbornness. Really, the pony is showing passivity. She's trying to calm Emma down by looking away from her. Thistle thinks that Emma is frustrated with her. Really, Emma is just not really sure about what to do. When your horse looks away from you and sniffs things, generally it's not that they're disinterested in you, although sometimes they are, but most of the time, it's that they're not really sure what to do, and they want to appear passive and subdued. Some people call these calming signals, where the horse sniffs the ground and kind of looks away from you. It's the horse's way of saying, "Hey, I don't want to fight. You don't need to chase me around or bother me. I'm just going to go stand over here for a while, and then maybe we can hang out later when you're not so stressed." Of course, as soon as Thistle hooks on to Emma, Emma is able to walk away and click Thistle for staying right next to her side. Now that Thistle feels like she understands, she walks much more fluidly. When Thistle lags too far behind, Emma turns a little bit sharper around to Thistle's hindquarters, making it easier for her to catch up. Each time Emma walks around to Thistle's hindquarters, Thistle learns to turn towards Emma and face her with two eyes. When your horse is looking at you with two eyes, it's easy to communicate with them. Many horses naturally will only look at you with one eye and have their other eye on the exit. For this reason, if you want to have a good trusting relationship with your horse, a good place to start is teaching them to look at you with two eyes so you can have a conversation. After Thistle has the basic idea at a walk, we then have her try it at a trot. It's important to have your horse learn to come back to you after they've been trotting around, in case your horse should ever escape from you on the trail. If you were to fall off on the trail, your horse might be scared and run away. After your horse runs, her adrenaline will be up, and she might be too afraid to think if you haven't practiced working after a run. Notice how, after she's been trotting around, Thistle stops and looks at Emma, but doesn't actually come towards her. Emma has to walk back and forth, changing sides between Thistle's eyes, before Thistle actually hooks onto her. When she does, Emma rewards her with a click and a treat. Because Thistle's nervous, she takes the treat with her teeth instead of licking it off Emma's hands. Using teeth to take the treat instead of lips is a sign that your horse is unconfident. For this reason, Emma walks with Thistle for a couple of minutes until Thistle really has the idea of hooking on again. It's important that Thistle understand that this is an exercise about coming back, not an exercise about going away. We really want her right next to us. When Emma is ready to send Thistle back out, first she moves Thistle's neck away from her, and then she swings towards her feet. I tell Emma that she only has 3 seconds to get Thistle to trot, because horses' reaction times are 8 times as fast as a human's reaction time. Half a minute would be a long time for Thistle to wait to find out if she had the right answer. Emma can help Thistle keep from getting frustrated by helping her get right into the trot. This time, when Thistle asks Emma a question by looking at her while she's trotting around, Emma quickly backs away from Thistle, retreating and walking away from her. When Emma retreats, Thistle follows. She remembers that she's supposed to hook on. Emma walks around, spiraling in away from Thistle. As her turns become smaller, Thistle is able to get closer to Emma. She has to pick up the tail of her string so that Thistle doesn't step on it. As Emma walks away from Thistle, she looks over her shoulder to see how close she is. This helps her know when she needs to turn so that Thistle can catch up. At last, Thistle catches up to Emma and receives a click and a treat. Thistle and Emma now have a foundation for playing together at liberty.